Hello, everyone, and happy Orktober. Welcome to
Woo!
Dragonforge After Dark Faction Focus with our special guest Drei, who is going into this episode completely blind. Uh, yeah, as opposed to our normal episodes where we have guests utterly knowledgeable about the topic, Drei is basically Jon Snow at this point. He knows nothing.
I know
He just
nothing.
wants to get back into Orcs, and this stream is going to tempt him with a lot of shit. Yeah,
And the thing is, I'm willingly going into this, knowing I will be tempted,
yes.
knowing that I will eventually have to spend.
Dre has offered himself up as sacrifice.
Yep. Oh,
And
willing sacrifice.
yes, and Michael, yes, you are the first commenter.
Yes.
Congratulations, you win nothing. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the orcs. It is Orktober, so we have to talk about the orcs. Today we're doing the orcs in 40k. Teacher Mikey was supposed to be joining us. However, their entire complex got sealed away due to the plague. So teacher Mikey will be gone for a couple of weeks. Like he's fine, but like he has no access. He has no stable access to the World Wide Web.
Mhm.
So he's gonna be gone for a while.
Right.
All right,
Shame.
so tonight on Faction Focus Friday, we're going to be talking about what kind of war game fits your lifestyle, why this faction is for you or not, how you can get started fast, and how you can scale up. And before we start, can I just say this is the longest PowerPoint presentation I have done since graduating college? Like, holy shit, there are so many orc units. There are so many orc units, and there's just so much to digest. Like, the orc codex is one of the most flexible things in 40k right now, probably the second longest next to Codex Space Marines. Like holy shit, I did not expect it to be this jam packed.
Stop. My wallet can only be dead so much.
It's okay, you have a supportive and loving wife who
Yes, I
wants
know.
you to get away from the PC and is paying for your pre-orders.
Yep. Yep, she is. And I love her for that.
Yes, we love you, Chantal. Get better soon.
Yeah, better babe.
Okay, so first of all, we're gonna talk about whether you want the big army or the skirmish combat. So, of course, big army is lots of models. You can create dioramas. You can create a spectacle. It looks great on the board, but it's also a huge investment in terms of playing time and, of course, assembly time and painting time. But it's not necessarily expensive depending on what army you get. However, this is orcs, so that does not apply at all.
Yep.
Like you're gonna be buying a lot of shit, Dre.
Yeah, I am. But it's
Yes.
not gonna be like IG. As far as
It's
I know,
not
it's not
gonna
gonna be
be
like IG.
IG. It's not gonna be IG. It's not even gonna be AdMech.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are ways to go elite with orcs, pero there are still a lot of things that you have to buy. But this isn't gonna be Adeptus Custodes. Na you only need like a few bananas and you're done. So there's also Kill Team, where if you wanna go like small, you go for Kill Team. So um, of course, it's a small squad with few models, and you're up close and personal. So it's a model per model
Few
face off.
models.
It's a few models. You have 10 max in an orc one. So, dude,
I don't
and
know.
one of those is like a suicide bomber squig. So, like,
Exactly my point. You're
and
gonna
all
be
right.
sacrificing a lot.
So it's a very small investment in terms of assembly time, playing time, and less painting time compared to having a big army. But there's also a huge tendency to try to collect all the kill teams for some people. That is luckily not my affliction. My affliction is going Pokemon on whole armies, which is so much worse.
I mean,
So,
that's one way of looking at it.
who are the orcs? The orcs are one of the big three competitive armies right now. They are consistently placing in the top four of a lot of tournaments. Yes, they are green, mean, and dirty. Thank you, Michael. Yes,
They are. They are.
yes. Except for like DJ's paint jobs, which are crisp as hell, which you'll be seeing later. So, of course, the big three are still the Drukari, the Admech, and the Orcs. So, who are the Orcs really? To understand the orcs, we have to go back to the beginning of time, to the war in heaven, when the old ones were clashing against the Catan and the Necron tier. When the old ones, a race of psychic, transcendent lizard people, decided to genetically engineer various races to fight the Necron tier. Some among these are the Eldar, who they created closest to their image, which does not compute because elves and lizards.
Hmm.
So, but then they also created something called Crorks, which were fungal organisms engineered to be great at fighting with everything they need from to fight, to reproduce, etc., included in their DNA. So there are orcs who are doctors just by their DNA. There are orcs that are mechanics just by their DNA. And then the one thing they forgot to do was put a kill switch or an off switch on the orcs. So they just kept propagating and propagating and propagating through spores, by the way. If you kill an orc and don't burn it, it will spread spores that will grow more orcs, and you'll have an orc infestation in another few years. So, yes, orcs are mushrooms. This is not a joke. This is legit actual fluff.
I was gonna joke around saying that the reason why they're green is because of photosynthesis, but that's not really the case for
Yeah,
shrooms.
yeah, it's not the case for shrooms. They're orcs because I guess the lizards like the color green.
Green. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, they can be whatever the shroom the shrooms the lizard men wanted them to be. So thanks, old ones, for giving us the orcs.
High leg.
So yeah, so now the orcs in 40k have spread everywhere in the galaxy. They're everywhere, and all they want to do is fight, fight, fight. Like that's the entire basis of their culture, fighting. Their entire purpose in life is to fight, to crump, and to some of them like to collect shiny things and like collect things that go daka daka daka, but it's all
Yep.
for the general purposes of fighting. So, on building and painting orcs, we have this note from our friend DJ, who unfortunately could not join us today, though we hope that he can join us a bit later. But like, not holding on hope, for hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. So, all right. So, according to DJ, chunky models are easier to work with than many of the tinier factions, and that is very true. Um, I've assembled like a lot of spirits for Night Hunt, and those things are fiddly. With orcs, you don't have that problem. Everyone's like big and buff, except the grots. I'm sorry, grots. And orcs are meant to be very rough and haphazard by nature, so they're very forgiving of mistakes, especially during assembly and painting. So you can be sloppy and it will still look orky. And you have a lot of details and different materials. Um, Compared to something like marines, which are very standard.
Yeah.
And it's also great for conversion work because you can take literally anything and make it orky.
Back when I had my figures still painted, I made lots of mistakes, and I just said, no, that's a design feature. It looks
Yeah,
dirty. It looks broken up. At one point, I kit bashed it with uh, Marines and put like the skulls or the helmets of the Marines on their pauldrons and whatnot. Looks it looks like whatever you do, there is a very minute chance that you're gonna fuck things up.
yeah. The only thing that even comes close is chaos. And like orcs are much more forgiving than chaos.
Mhm.
Our friend Jab once assembled a Death Dread or a Killakan with the legs backwards, and no
Oh,
one
I've
could,
seen that one. I've seen that one.
and no one even noticed. And until he told us, like, shit, I think I
They're
glued the
all
legs backwards.
backwards.
And we're like,
Yep.
how can you tell, right?
Yeah, it's funny
It's
with
orcs.
how orcs are. Like you can break a piece by accident, which has happened to me, and is happening to me right now. And I'm just gonna say, nah, it's battle damage.
Yeah, it's battle
Uh,
damage. It's fine.
it's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when GG used to like paint red on his chaos, and then like he goes over and it's like, man, it's blood. For orcs, you have a lot of leeway for no, it's battle damage, no, it's conversion. It's really great. Though remember that for converting your own stuff, it still does have to be the general footprint of the thing you want it to be.
Yeah.
So generally, if you want to make a battle wagon, make sure it's the size of a battle wagon. That's
Mhm.
really it. And like 50% GDO plastic for at least Dragonforge tournaments. Different TOs may have their own rules. So just, ask your TO before coming in with a fully converted orc army.
The thing is, I do want to ask Kesh right now as early as possible.
Yes, ask.
Can I say that this missing arm on my boss? I haven't really finished priming it properly because it was bubbling up. Can I say that is he lost his arm in a war or in a battle?
We'd probably replace it with something else though.
Yeah.
You probably have extra kilakan bits, so just
No, but
stick it in there.
this is cast kasi. This is fine cast kasi.
Stick it in.
So yeah.
It's orcs, man. Just stick it in.
Yep. I will do.
Heck, you can put a can opener in there or like a nail cutter and it will still look orky.
Yeah.
It's orcs. There's literally nothing you can do to fuck it up. Yeah, like Michael said, just put anything. It'll be fine.
I'm gonna put putty. I was putting putty on it before and make it look like he just has a stump there, but I couldn't quite get the texture and the shaping properly.
If you want, you can sculpt the tentacle on there. It's gonna be fine.
Ooh, hear that, Sheena? I'm gonna put a tentacle on my orc.
That may have
Hey
been bad
guys.
advice. Okay, so orcs on the tabletop. They are quite tough with universal toughness 5, but their saves are garbage. They have t-shirt
Yep.
saves. They have lots and lots of melee attacks, which are what orcs are really known for. But they're
Mhm.
surprisingly not bad at shooting because they just have a lot of DACA. Their accuracy is garbage, but if you're
Yep.
throwing out like 100 dice, some of them are bound to hit, right?
Yep.
And you can build a force entirely on wheels, like a full speed force, and not suck. The only other army that can do that right now is the glorious, glorious Ravenwing. Praise be because the Dark Angels are completely loyal. So, all right. So, a note from DJ: you also have specialist mobs that can substitute clan traits for specialized ones. The most notable one being the truck boys, which we'll talk about when we get to the truck. And the custom jobs that you spend to upgrade vehicles with and mech boys. And if you bring a mech boy workshop, which is the terrain, you can actually bring more of them. But that's garbage, so don't. The custom jobs have largely been nerfed from the previous edition. So, all right. So, how do you get started in orcs? You can start with the combat patrol orcs. Can,
It's
which
starting.
Dre's wife has already ordered.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
starting. The
oh,
temptation's already
a comment.
starting.
Not White Scars. White Scars actually rely a lot on Blade Guard veterans and Assault Intercessors now. So, like, I am sorry, Khan. They have given up on you. And so it comes with a war boss. It comes with some orcs, and it comes with Death Captas and a Death Dread. Now we're gonna be talking about all these units later. Now, but I have to say right now that it's not the optimal way to go if you want to go competitive. The best way to do that would be to buy things piecemeal, or if you want to go in a specific if you want to go with a specific culture or a specific build, start collecting orcs may not be for you. There's also the beast snaga box, but honestly, even if you are going to be starting beast nagas, I don't think it's the best way to start beast nagas. All right. So orcs and kill team. Teacher Mikey was supposed to discuss this, but he's gone,
Hmm.
taken away from us by the plague. So we're gonna be talking about orcs in kill team. Now there are two basic options for this. You can go for the compendium one and the orc commandos. And the orc commandos are totally awesome compared to the compendium ones that you will never bring the compendium ones. So how do they work? They're semi elite and they're semi horde. They're both sneaky, stabby, and shooty. Like literally no other faction can charge while concealed. It's super unfair. They also have like grapple hooks across the board, etc. Though be careful when assembling your orc commandos for kill team because a lot of the upgrades are expensive and unneeded in 40k. So really up to you. There are also very beautiful updated models. Like look at that bomber squig. They're easy to collect because they come in the Octarius box, and these are only for the Orc Commandos for Kill Team Octarius because the standard boys are kind of meh. So here he reiterates it like avoid the compendium orcs because they give versatility in exchange for power, but just the commandos are so much better that you don't really bring the compendium orcs anymore. So Dre, you're gonna want some commandos further down the line.
I think I already do have some with the starter kit that I had before, but I will need to
Wala
add
pang
more.
commando. You have knobs.
Oh yeah, I do have knobs.
Yeah, but knobs are good. Knobs are good. Like we will get to knobs. Knobs are good. All right. So how do you um get started in Orcs and Kill Team? First, you can build the Kill Team Octarius box, or you can split a Kill Team starter set that's coming out later this year. So it's not out yet. Or you can just get the Commandos box, which is also not out yet. So we're gonna have to wait for a bit. Though, let me create a banner right now. We do have one piece of Octarius left, and for the entirety of Orktober, I'm gonna put the Octarius box on a 10% off discount.
Sorry, is that Commando wearing a trucker hat?
Yes.
Oh my god, I wanna. Mm. It begins. The temptation begins.
All right. So no, wait. I mistyped.
God, I wanna buy already.
There we go. So okay, just forgot to delete those. And orcs in big army. So orcs in the big army game have are divided into clans. So you have to choose like a clan, and you can build like multi-clan tribes. So you can, unlike Space Marines where you have to go all Ultramarines, you can have a mixed force of Goths and Bad Moons, etc. Then you can build your different detachments around different themes, so you don't get bored of just one single theme, and it's gonna be great. Because a lot of the tournament winning lists nowadays are mixed, and however, a big sad thing to note is that ninth edition discourages large mobs because you will lose a lot of them to morale with the changes to mob rule. So you actually do want to MSU and orcs with multiple small units, with the possible exception of 20 boys in a truck. So this allows you to just buy kits one at a time and pace yourself and paint in batches. So you don't get overwhelmed with like, oh no, I have to paint 100 orcs to start playing. So this is actually better if you wanna like pace yourself while playing or while buying actually. So big army game types, normally the ones that are most played are combat patrol for 500 points, incursion at 1000, and strike force at 2000. No one really plays onslaught except for certain friendly games because it just takes so long. A strike force battle would last up to 3 hours. In tournaments it's like 2.5. Combat patrol is like an hour but can be less depending on the forces you bring. And battlefield size will also vary depending on the size of the game. And yes, John, that was a direct attack on you. All right.
Michael, I'm
So
already buying a couple. Don't worry, I'm gonna buy.
yeah,
I,
don't worry, Michael. He's already like ordered.
I'm committed. I'm committed.
He's committed. He's committed. All right. So patrol detachment. So a patrol detachment is the easiest way to start a force. It's just one to two HQs and one to three troops required. So you can have an HQ and a troop choice, and you can play a combat patrol game as long as you hit the 500 points. But of course, you have your choice of adding other stuff like elites, fast attack, heavy support, and flyers. The flyers are actually good here. Like a lot of flyers in ninth edition are garbage, but the Daka Jet is not one of them. The Daka Jet is good shit. All right. So let's talk about the Orc clans. Um this is the cash review of them. There's also a DJ review on the next slide, which is more detailed. But straight up, the Bad Moons are the shootiest, but they're meh. The Blood Axes are meant to be the choppiest. They're not as meh, but like
Yeah,
they're strangely enough, there's a choppier faction than the choppiest faction. The Death Skulls are supposed to be the luckiest faction, and they are very much not meh. The lucky faction is good shit. The Goths, which are Gaz's boys, and they are absolutely not meh. They are good. Because you have like most of the named characters in here, and Gazgul is here. Like, dude, you're probably some of you are
yeah.
probably playing orcs for Gazgul.
God's
So
cool.
yes, Gazgul is very cool. You can't say Gazgul without cool. Um,
Yep.
the Evil Sons, the speediest, which are now completely and utterly meh. You want to bring like a speedwa in freebooters nowadays. Rip. So and the snake bites. The snake bites are the new Primaris orcs coming out with a Beast Snaga box. So G-Dub says they're not Primaris orcs, but they're actually Primaris orcs because they have their own transports, etc., and stuff that only buffs them. And then the freebooters, which are the pirate orcs, which are absolutely cool, and I love them. Dre, I believe you have flash kits.
I have flash kits. I do have flash kits,
Flash kits
and I
fit perfectly here.
plan and I plan to buy more. If only. So to give everyone an idea why I am willingly putting myself here, I don't play the game. I have no idea how to play. I just have the most basic knowledge of the tabletop game. Despite that, I am still willing to go through this torture for my wallet and for my sanity because I love orcs and I love painting and collecting them to the point that I'm here.
Also, his wife wants him off Final Fantasy 14.
Guys, naked, I know you're watching right now. Sheena, Rick, come on, save me here. I know you. I know my FC. I know my FC mates are watching right now. Please help me out here.
Yeah, so Dre's wife is actually very supportive of this because she wants him to like spend less time like on the screen and actually spend more time doing stuff that's more analog. So
Yep.
unlike a lot of people who hide their purchases from their wives, Dre's
No.
wife hides orc purchases from him and then just
Yep.
surprise, here's more orcs for you. Which
I
just happened a few weeks ago, right?
this has happened. This happened the week of my birthday. Actually, the week before my birthday, before I got invited here. So yeah, I didn't want to strip my paint, but because I looked at my knobs and my grots and I said, "Oh my god, the paint is so thick." I stripped everything to the point that I broke a couple of pieces, which are now battle damage.
Yeah, battle damage. It's
Yep.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, for everyone there viewing at home, please do exactly what Michael is saying. Bye,
God
bye,
damn it.
bye. Because you have
No.
to support your LGS or your LGS closed down.
I'm gonna start my own WA soon.
All right, Franco. So this is like the perfect episode for you because we are going to be talking about every unit in the Orc Codex. And you can actually place orders with us. You can PM me or message the Dragonforge page if you have any orders
Mm.
for orcs. And do wait before the end of the stream before placing your orders. Though, again, the Octarius set is on 10% off if you want to get started with Kill Team and want to split with someone. And honestly, it's not going to be hard to split Octarius with someone because everybody wants the deathcore of Krieg. So now let's go on to DJ's review of the Orc clans. So it's a bit small. So the Bad Moons have a +6 inch range to their Daka and heavy range. So that's extra range for their guns. And they have a 1 CP stratagem to explode their hits on sixes when shooting. So that's considering orcs only hit on a 5 or 6, that's an entire that's a 50% increase
50%.
in your
Yeah.
damage. Yeah. So those small things that other armies take for granted are actually huge in orcs. The
Provided
blood
you hit in
axe,
the first
yeah,
place.
if you believe. There can be miracles
Yep.
when you believe, Dre. So the blood axes naman can fall back and shoot and then charge. Though it's really good synergy with the sheer volume of orc units that you have that can do mortal wounds on the charge. So the death skulls naman, all your infantry get objective secured. So it's gonna be good for objective gaming, which is awesome. Lalo na with commandos or just sneaking up on the board and refusing to leave an objective forever. The Goths naman, they have sixes to explode hits in melee, which is less big than the shooting one. But yeah, you also have Gazgul here, so you take it for Gazgul and Makari. The Evil Sons have a +1 to move and advance, so it's a lot of stuff making you faster, and they do have bonuses to assault weapons, which a lot of the orc units lost for the new Daka type, which honestly feels like a bit of a design error when they were making the new codex. And the snake bites. The snake bites are where you go if you want to build beast nagas. They currently have the most OP character in the faction, the dude on the big white squig. So if you want to go squigs, if you want to go like bestial beast nagas, you go to snake bites. And then the freebooters. This is actually one of the most competitive right now because you can give obsec to one infantry for 1 CP, and you can remove obsec from enemy units, which means you can steal objectives, and you get +1 to hit in any phase that you destroy a unit. So if you destroy one unit in the fight phase, everyone else in your army gets a +1 to hit. So it just keeps steamrolling. And it's really good because they have special stuff for flash gets in particular. So Dre, I am telling you now, you're doing freebooters.
I am.
Yeah, because
Forget, forget,
you
forget,
want flash gets.
forget Mad Max. Forget Mad Max. That can wait.
Yeah, you can Mad Max in freebooters. Yeah,
Space
absolutely nothing wrong with
Pirates.
it. Like people don't actually Mad Max in Evil Sons anymore. They just take either Goths or
Yeah,
freebooters. Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
So your troops. So they're the basic battle line for your army. They're the objective takers, and you basically just spam mushrooms on the board. And according to DJ, these mushrooms are so raw. They just ask for more daka.
Let me try it. Let me try it. These mushrooms are so raw. They just ask for more DACA.
There we go. Can you do that for the rest of the stream or hindi kaya ng throat mo?
I can the rest. I can do orcs for the rest of the stream. This is gonna be my voice now, boys. We can have more DACA.
Oh,
Raw.
so here's the guy who made a lot of these slides possible. Hello to DJ.
EJ,
So
hello.
yes, one of our glorious white men.
Laws
So we
love
are
more
very
DACA.
inclusive in this channel. We include even minorities like white people.
White people. Yep.
So yes, we are very inclusive.
hmm We are very progressive.
Yes, yes, very.
Josh.
So let's go for the orc boys first. These are your classic orc battle line. If you're going green tide, this is where you go. And then now, however, like 30-man blobs are no longer a good idea, but you still may want to do like 20-man squad in a truck with the truck boy upgrade. So you're gonna need these in your army.
hmm
So you can kit them out as either slugger boys with the pistol and the melee
Pistols.
chopper,
Yeah.
which is the best choice right now, or shooter boys with Daka with like
Autogun.
autoguns. Now, the Daka keyword we have to talk about because this is a new type of weapon. It's like rapid fire, where you get two shots if you're not in half range, and you get three shots if you're in half range. So within 9 inches, the Daka 3-2 is going to be shooting three.
Yeah.
Now, the T-shirt armor. Yeah, the T-shirt armor is like a 6+. It's not gonna save anything. But you have T5 on your basic infantry, so they're pretty tough against getting wounded from stuff like bolters or flashlights. Like, don't worry. Like, you will survive the flashlights. They're good for screening. They're good for tackling or just sitting on objectives with their obsec and like trying to shoot things and missing. And like I mentioned before, they are very good for truck boys. And the truck boys upgrade is something you can only bring once in your army, so you have to choose which unit to truck boy. But it lets you disembark your truck after it moves. Normally, you can only disembark before the vehicle moves, so you can move with your truck and then disembark with your orcs and then charge later,
Mhm.
which gives you like huge range. Michael, we will get to the rig, but generally you want the rig if you are going Primaris Orcs. If you're taking Orc Boys, you take a truck. As we stated earlier on in the stream, Teacher Mikey does not have internet access due to plague quarantine situation.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
yeah, so he is with us in spirit and in like probably comments. He's totally fine, by the way. He doesn't have COVID. He's not dying.
Unfortunately,
He just has no internet.
yeah. Unfortunately, you guys are stuck with somebody who's not knowledgeable with the game, but can do
It's
orc voices.
fine. It's fine. I will take the orc voices. Don't worry, Eric. We've been doing so all day. And yes, John, we are going to be having a lot of squigs.
Squirks.
Squigs. All right. So the grots.
Ah, the
Straight up,
Grots, the
just
Gretchens.
no.
Yep.
Listen to Isildur and just say no.
Hmm.
They are actually pricier than their stat line would indicate because they to use the Grot Shield strat, you have to spend 2 CP to make the orcs to make a unit of Grots untargetable. So sorry, to make the orcs untargetable, you have to use your Grots as meat shields. So and they're not even the best objective holders anymore because there are lots of things that can just pop in and wipe them out. So yeah, John does have this unit, and we're gonna be featuring it later during our army picture section. And honestly, not a good idea unless you're going for certain builds. So yes, see, Mikey is totally alive. He is fine. That is totally not a bot using his Facebook account. Like if anyone tells you that, they are lying. Yes. See, he is very much alive. This is not a bot. Yeah, and as we stated before with the orcs, morale in ninth is bad, and grots have no morale to speak of. So
I mean,
do
look at
not.
them. Look at them. All they need is like one shot and they'd be dead.
I mean, they're cute, but they're
They
garbage.
are a pain. This is what I know. When I was painting them in the past, they are a pain for the details because they are so freaking small. Like there's no bigger than a thumbnail.
But Dre, now we have contrast.
I know. We didn't have contrast back then, man.
Yeah,
This is
now
the
we
one.
have contrast, and
This is
contrast
the
is
one I
like the
stripped
godsend for
before.
orcs. The
Yeah, this one
grot.
is it's so small. It's
It
like an
is very
afterthought.
tiny. So Master Jeff is challenging you to do 100 grots.
God damn it, Jeff. No, no,
So we're just gonna say Isildur no to that.
no.
And now we have the Beast Snaga Boys, which are the new Primaris Orcs. So they
Holy shit, they
we're
look
calling them
nice.
Primaris Orcs because they have their entire thing where there are only transports that they can fit in. There are troops that can only be healed by them. So if you want to do like Beast Nagas, you have to do all Beast Nagas. That's the recommendation. So what they
God
do
damn it.
have is they have a 6+ invulnerable save by default. and they have a +1 to hit against vehicles and monsters, which is not going to matter very much unless you're using something like the kill rig or the most broken piece of shit in the entire or codex, which we'll get to later. They are native strength 5, 3 wounds, and capable in riding in the kill or hunter rig. And you want the kill rig, not the hunter rig, because the kill rig is great. They are a great middle ground between boys and knobs in terms of the killy faction. But yeah, you get these if you're going Primaris Orcs.
I know I'm gonna get them because they look nice. I'm gonna
That's
get
true.
them
You
because
you can
I'll
actually build a sub like we mentioned before. You can build multiple
yeah.
detachments, which are each self-contained
Yeah,
clans
because multiple
within the
clans
orc
can
tribe.
exist. Yeah,
Yeah. So
but as a
we're gonna be talking
collector,
about the HQ. Yeah, as a
yeah, as a
collector, you
collector,
you
fuck,
go
they look
wild.
nice. Oh my god, they
Yes.
look nice.
Yeah, I can totally like tell
Yes.
Chantal, okay, Chantal, ito daw gusto ni Dre.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm making a list of the stuff you like during the stream, and I'll send them to your wife.
That's basically the whole catalog at this point.
Yeah, except for a few things. You don't want the grots.
Except the grots because I already have the grots. I don't
Yeah.
want them.
So the HQ units are either they are going to be very killy or supporty, but even the supporty ones are killier than the normal HQs in other flimsy armies like Adeptus Mechanicus. So they are independent units. They go alone, and they're expensive, but they are powerful. John, I don't think we'll have an extra when he arrives, but we can order for you literally anytime. You just tell me like, Kesh, please take money, and then I will take your money, and then I will get you a Mozrog. Easy. So the war boss. Now the war boss is like your basic choppy boss unit. So I don't think I can elaborate on the war boss if you're watching a stream on Orcs. You know what he does? He will get in your face and he will smash things. That's the entire purpose of the war boss. He can also declare a wa once per game, which will boost the melee performance of all your boys, as opposed to the speed wa, which can only be summoned by the Wartrike later, which increases your Daka. So if you want to play Daka Orcs, you play the Speedwa. If you want to play melee Orcs, you do the Warboss. So the way to buy this kit is either the Finecast model, which is kind of meh, or you buy this box with a war boss and like a full set of knobs already. Which I believe this is what you got, Trey, because this is the one in um
Yeah, it
that
was the
starter set with the
space wolves.
furries. Yeah,
Yeah, with the space
yeah.
wolves. The thing though I want to ask right now is
Ask.
if you have a war boss, can you downgrade if you have multiple war bosses rather, can you downgrade some of them and argue that they're just knobs for the sake of having them?
I mean, probably it's orcs. You just paint them not as blingy as your war boss, because
Mhm.
note that you can only have one war boss per detachment, but
Of
you can
course.
have multiple detachments. So you can
Mm.
have like half of your force with the war boss doing melee, and you can have the other side of your force
Daka.
doing Daka with the Speedwa, and you can have a third half of your force because orcs are not confined by logic and numbers. You can have a third half of your force as Beast
Orcs
Nagas.
can't count.
Like orcs
We
can
don't
count.
know. We don't know big numbers.
Yes, and three is a big number.
Three. Three is a big number
So
already for
the
them.
war boss
Oh,
in Mega Armor though,
oh god, they look so awesome.
it's great. Like the thing with the war boss in Mega Armor is you can't buy a war boss in Mega Armor. You buy the box of three Mega
Three. Yeah.
Armor knobs, and then you can um
Assign one of them.
yeah, you can use one of them, and another one you can turn into a mech in Mega Armor, a mech boss. So it's a really sulit kit, and it has all the normal synergies of War Boss, but in very orky Terminator armor. And the War Boss in Mega Armor actually has the one most survivable unit in the Orc Codex, because you can get up to a 0+ save with a lot of shenanigans using a relic called the Crush in Armor. So it gives you +1 to your already 2+ save and a 4+ save. So you're ignoring AP right there to keep your 2+ save. And you get a 4+ invulnerable save. So you're basically a space marine in with a storm shield, but better. And you also have native higher toughness, and you have on a 2+, you deal D3 mortal wounds on the charge. Getting them up there is going to be hard because they're slow, but that's why you put them in a transport, or you use a psychic power called the jump to shift them up to like 9 inches. These guys are good, like straight up good. So the big mech with the KFF is is. He's no longer as good with the loss of big orc units. Do note that whenever we put a big red arrow here, it means that it's a web scroll exclusive, and we'll only order those during when we call for orders for web store exclusives, which is like once every few months. So they're a bit harder to get, they're a bit more expensive, and they take quite a while to get here. So it's quite recommended to stick with the stuff that are not web store exclusives, or this is Orkz. Convert your own. Like Orcs are the most convertible faction. Like you can probably transform some of your spare war bosses into like big mechs, into pain bosses, etc. You will have a lot of bits. You're an orc player. You can put like space marine, what you call it, apothecary bits on a boss and call him like a pain boss. Now, the big mech with the shock attack gun. So reading up on this guy, I was thinking like it has a cool gun model, but that's about it. But DJ has
Yeah.
more to say. So apparently, the shock attack gun shoots a Gretchen through the warp, teleporting a demon possessed insane grot inside the enemy target, and then just goes, which is so dumb and orky, and I love it. So I changed my mind on this guy.
If that thing is real, if that lore is real, I'm gonna
That
buy that just for the lore.
the lore is apparently real.
Then another one for the list again. Almost
Another one for the
for the list.
list.
God damn it, my one is
I am
crying.
so sorry, Shanta.
I'm so sorry, babe. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so the theoretical damage is absurd, but like everything is random, random, random. So while you have a higher theoretical damage ceiling, you also have a very low theoretical damage floor. So on average, it's just meh. But you know,
Oh my god,
y-
my wife just reacted. Jesh,
hi Chantal, we love you.
babe, feel better soon.
Yes, please feel better soon. We love you. Please don't hate us.
She can hear me. She's just like literally next room.
Yeah. All right. So, according to DJ, bringing this guy is as rare as a happy inquisitor. So, I guess I'm ordering you one in the next week.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I can check the price
We,
for you
we'll,
later. I don't think
we'll
he's
see,
pricey,
Cash.
naman.
We'll see.
All right. So the big mech in Mecha Armor in Mega Armor is the same kit as the Mega Nobs. So this is your gonna be your main force of the custom force field because he's more survivable and still gives that the force field. He has a BS4 plus, which is amazing in orcs. He can repair your vehicles, of which you're going to have a lot. And it's the same kit nga of the Mega Nobs, the boss in Mega Armor, and you can also just run the Big Mech as another Mega Nob. It's really great value for a kit, and anyone there who wants to do foot orcs should definitely be getting at least one or two of these kits. Now, the Death Killer War Trike, the good shit. Well, okay, fine. It's no longer as good
It's not
of a
as
good
good
shit.
as far as I know.
Yeah, but look at it, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know.
Holy shit. And
uh,
also,
uh,
it's absolutely necessary to be able
First
to
speed one.
call a speedwa.
Yeah,
So, You do need it. Like, I don't know, John. I think it may be on your end. Everything else seems to be working.
Yeah, I think other people can hear us naman.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so it has a jet engine on the back that can be fired either as a heavy flamer or a multi.
Orcs are just, to those who say that orcs are stupid, they are ingenious. They are geniuses in terms of ways of killing people or other
Thank you,
orcs.
old ones. Thank you, old ones. All right, and they're characters, so they can have a warrior trait and war
Oh,
gear.
the, I I don't understand the joke, so it's gonna go over my head. It's gonna be on cash for that one.
The what? What?
The joke apparently.
Which joke? The Drei can't hear. I do not get the joke either. I am sorry, John.
I don't know.
Oh, I get it because it's a deaf Kilawar trike. I get it.
I'm just
It
gonna.
ain't funny, but I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So, uh, and as a vehicle, it can take custom jobs, and it's probably the only reason you want to take custom jobs. And it gets damage reduction from having the ramshackle keyword, which a lot of the orc vehicles have. So it's absolutely cool. Dre is definitely getting one. Yeah. All right. Now here's the beast boss. So he's a boss, but beastie. So he's gonna be your Primaris boy, and you only get him if you are going for Beast Nagas. Dre, what are you thinking?
Buy
Is
only
it
if
going on
going
the list?
primaris. Bullshit. Buy it because I'm a collector.
Okay, okay. I'm just gonna put this back on the screen. Don't worry, John. It is coming. It is coming. He
No, but
ordered one.
with my collection, I'm gonna go start small because I don't want to have a backlog with these things.
Yes, definitely. And as DJ said before, you can pace yourself with your purchases, so it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I suggest you doing the beast nagas last. Like you
Mhm.
finish your current ano muna, like detachment per detachment.
I think
So
I'm gonna if ever I'm gonna go competitive, I'm gonna finish my freebooters first.
definitely the freebooters are the most competitive right now, but
Yeah.
they do splash the single most broken generic HQ. This guy, the beast boss on a fucking squigosaur. That's the good shit. It's one of the most unkillable things, and it's also stupidly killing, stupidly killy. Like it can kill Imperial Knights, and it has like amazing synergy with the Clan Warlord traits of the Beast Nagas. If you're going Beast Nagas, there is zero reason not to bring this guy. And if you're not bringing Beast Nagas, you still may want to splash this guy.
I will say this. I'm not a fan of squigs, but right there, that's just mwah, chef's
Wait
kiss right
for the
there.
white one. Wait for the white one.
It just looks so nice.
All right, so the weird boy. The weird boy has a very, very ugly model from the beginning of time, and it's fine cast. So, and you may want it if you want to do like, yeah, you can slide him into a non-Beast Naga army. Just note that he won't be as effective outside the Beast Naga army. I guess you can make a small detachment just for him, but definitely he's a must buy. And the weird boy. So you do want one because he enables the jump, which is like the psychic power that yeets you over to the opponent side of the board, 9 inches away for a charge, which you can re-roll being orcs. So the usual suggestion is because he's ugly and he is a web store exclusive, is that you use the AOS model instead, which is cheaper, it's plastic, and is not web store exclusive. So just get this. Yeah. And yeah, DJ saying the Snaga doesn't replace the clan, it's just a subtype. So yeah, you can definitely put him into a non como se dice, use your words, Kesh, into a non beast Snaga or Snakebite army. Now the Werboy is basically just a Primaris weird boy. So the only way to get the model is to buy the kill rig, which is this guy on here on top. Yeah, there. Can you even see my cursor? No, you cannot because it's white. So anyway, that guy on top is um is the thing. So there's no other way to get the Werboy, but the Beast Head spell discipline is great, and it can cause a lot of mortal wounds, and it has spells that turn people into squigs.
I'm just, trying to keep quiet because I'm trying to contain myself with that design and the overall look. Perfect for what I was envisioning when I told you. Um,
Yeah, you wanted Mad Max, diba?
Mad Max, that's fucking Mad Max right there.
Yes, it is. So this is absolutely cool. So you don't bring the Werboy, you bring the kill rig, and we will
Yeah,
talk about the kill rig. We have like 2 or 3 slides worth of talking about the kill rig
yeah.
and the pain boss.
Oh
So
yeah, the
this
pink
is
boss.
for when you're getting Okay, so Michael does say get 3 of the kill rigs. And I slightly disagree. You can get just one. The but because it is an expensive unit in points.
Hmm.
So you may not want too many of them, but it's great. And he also wants it. Like Michael, madali akong kausap. You go, cash, take my money. This is what I want. And then I will order it for you. And then, all right, so if you run out of your elite slots for Pain Boys, because elites are extremely crowded for orcs, you get the Pain Boss. And the Pain Boss is also really good for Beast Nagas, because this is how you heal your Squid Cavalry. They also have the 6 plus plus for clan, infantry, bikers, and cavalry within 3. And he's also a Snaga, which means he has the invul save and the +1 to vehicles for being a monster. And he has that cute little grot unicycle dude on the side, which is great.
For a grot, it looks nice. For a grot, it looks
You really
nice.
do not like the grots, huh?
It's
Okay,
so hard to paint them, to be
DJ
honest.
on the kill rig. You get 3, you run 3, you have
Yeah,
zero
zero
friends.
friends. Also,
Yeah,
you
so
have
you,
zero competition because nobody would want to fight you.
yeah. And
Nobody.
well, Master Jeff will probably fight you anyway.
Yeah, probably. Or you.
Yeah, he will still out cheese you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting to the clan specific characters. Gods, we're almost an hour in, and we're only at the end of HQs. There are a lot of units. So the
W-
Blood Access Commando character is Boss Necrot. If you're doing commando spam and using Blood Access, you get Boss Necrot. But otherwise, you can give him a miss. But he's pretty okay. Like a bunch of these characters are okay unless I say they are meh. Captain Badrock is the freebooters Flash Kits captain, which Dre will probably
Oh
want
yeah,
me to
I
order at a
do.
later date.
I do. I
Yeah,
do.
he has a big
Probably
hat.
the problem is when we discussed it in the past when I got my flash gates, it's so hard to find them.
We can order it now, even though it's web store. It'll just take a
Yeah,
few months to come. Yeah,
yeah, it's fine.
so it's fine. We get this guy, and if you only bring if you're spamming Flash Kits in freebooters, like Dre.
Sure. I mean, sure.
He got them from us, Michael, because we can
Yeah.
order that shit. All right, so here we go. This is
Oh
Mozrog
my god.
Skragbat, which is G-Dub
Oh
offering you
god.
a big hunkin slash of cheese. It's an
It doesn't even
alternate
look like a.
build.
It doesn't even look like a squigsaur. It looks like a shark because
Yeah.
of the paint scheme.
Yeah, it's the Great White Squig. I mean, it's meant to look like a squig. It's jaw. It's meant to look like a shark. It's jaws.
Yeah.
So this guy is the alternate build on the war boss on Squigosaur, and he's actually not as powerful due to the lack of flexible synergies, but he is still cheesy as fuck. Like this guy is like this is how you lose friends. You bring this guy in like a full Beast Naga supported army with like a lot of commandos stealing objectives for support.
I'm gonna say that in an orc voice. I'm Too sexy for my squig. Too sexy for my sig. So sexy it hurts. You!
Good job, Dre. And yes, you will
Yeah.
get him because he looks absolutely awesome.
Hmm. Kesh, I sent you a message in the private chat, by the way.
Oh, what is this private chat?
Just an idea. Ah, okay.
So Zogrod Ortznaga. This is a really cool character. But you're never gonna use him because he has to go with Grots. But
Yeah.
he is the only orc who fights for Grot human rights. Well, Grot rights.
Or Grot rights. Or
Yeah,
rights.
Grot rights. And you see, he's the only orc with hair that's not actually hair, that's stapled on. You can see the staples.
Yeah. 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 I thought it would look like a headdress, but now that you mentioned the staples,
Yeah, it's
it does look
stapled.
like
It's stapled
it
on.
look like it.
So yeah, he's an awesomely dumb model that you want to
So
get. You're
so at
spamming
the
grots.
very least, we know in our culture they have hairstylists, and they style your hair by basically stapling it with a staple gun.
It's literally only this guy. He is considered like a weird character even by orc standards. Nah, he wants hair. He wants grot rights. I mean, he cray,
It's in the
man.
name. It's in the name. Oh no,
Okay,
I'm not. This is DJ. I'm used to say speaking in my orc voice. It's just that if I have to shout, I'm gonna have a hard time later on because people are sleeping right now.
Jeebus. Fun fact: no orcs have hair. They have hair squigs, which are little squigs that bite you, drink your blood, and grow a thick mane of glorious hair for you. I love
Nice.
orcs.
I love orcs talaga.
Oh, the Christmas grot. We'll get to him.
We'll see.
Yes.
Again,
All right.
gods.
So, Boss Zugstuck. So he's a goth Stormboy hero with a cool hat. And if you are spamming Stormboys, you might as well. So, and here we go. Probably the reason you're playing goths. Gazgul and Makari. So Gazgul is, of course, the big boss of the orcs. He has an ability called the Great Wa that calls both the Wa and the Speed Wa. So you don't actually need Def Kill a Wartrek for him. He also counts as 18 for transport capacity because he's so big. So him and Makari take up um an entire battle wagon just for themselves. And Makari is really stupid and he's worth it all on his own because he's a grot character with a 2 plus invulnerable save until you fail it.
And
So
he's a
good.
fucking grot. He's a fucking
He's
grot.
a fucking grot. But he's like awesome. And yes, DJ say he thick. Yeah, Gazgul finally got the model that he deserved with like this update and it's so good. And yes, Makari is awesome. Like holy shit, a 2 plus invul, like that's so rare. But once he fail it, he probably dies because he's a grot.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
expected.
And yes, Jonathan is in danger.
You're like Ralph Wiggum.
Alright, so DJ notes that Gazgul is an absolute unit. And aside from being as spongy as he looks, he also has a special rule that limits him to only taking 4 wounds of damage per phase. So he's like a Katan, but lighter. And you may want to stuff him in a wagon nga. And like Makari is super worth it all on his own because he has like the 2 plus character and he can work on objectives and he can do actions. So he can just go around on his own like doing actions and capturing objectives and that 2 plus save. And he's a grot so your opponent won't bother shooting. And yes, he won't fail if you believe. So now we get to the elite slot, which is the most packed slot of the Orc Codex. So we have a bunch of independent units, which are like characters that are like HQs but cheaper. You also have commandos. You have a lot of offensive support characters, multiple wound characters, and commandos. So let's get to it. The mech boy is
McBoy.
garbage now. Do not get.
Mhm.
The knob with wah banner is he's okay. But instead of getting this one, you should get the one in AOS, which we will show you because Jonas had painted. And this one is Webster exclusive. But like we will show you the nice one, the tongue stick. We call it the tongue stick. So he's good if you want to spread your aura for additional attacks to multiple units instead of just one with your war boss. So next is the Pain Boy. You
Painboy.
buy
Yeah.
this if you're still doing on Green Tide because he is very good for at healing units. He also provides the 6+ feel no pain for clan infantry, bikes, cavalry within 3 inches, and he can also heal infantry or biker models. This is something that if you remember the Death Guard don't actually do, so they're more similar to marine apothecaries than they are to like than the Death Guard are, which is weird because the Death Guard are Marines. So you bring the Pain Boss. You use the Pain Boy instead of the Pain Boss if you want to heal infantry that aren't Snaga. So this is what you bring for your boys, for your knobs, and yes, Eric likes this guy for being so happy. It's a very happy boy, and I totally love the claw. It's like ee. Right. So next we have the Runt Herd. He actually comes in the Grots box, and you only run him if you're running Grots. And if you are running Grots, you have to run him because otherwise your Grots are they're already garbage, but they'll be garbagier. They're
Even
gonna
more
be
garbage.
shittier.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But we're doing orcs tonight, so I have to use invented words. Okay, so Burna Boys. I'm honestly not convinced with the Burna Boys, but DJ likes them because they now have a full 12-inch D6 auto hits, which, auto hits are much better than the usual Orc ballistic skill. You can stick 12 in a truck and like watch the enemy shaft screens do the Bernie Bernie dance because they will die in droves. Lala if you're playing against Imperial Guard or Admech. But you really won't see a lot of those around because they're mostly going to be Marines and Death Guard. And every fifth model must now be built as a spanner with a different weapon. And you can spend 1 CP to turn on Cut in Flames and each give each Burna an AP -2 for 1 turn. So they're okay, but I am honestly not convinced because the other alternative build for this is the Lutas, and the Lutas are so much better. Now here we go, the Commandos. As we discussed before, they're not actually out yet as an individual kit. You need to get the Octarius box set, which is 10% off for the entirety of Orktober. So you will buy a lot of these things because they will sneak up, they will infiltrate, and then they will take objectives. And they're honestly just really good in an orc army, though you may not want to spend on the upgrades.
Hmm.
So according to DJ, it is one of the biggest winners of the ninth codex. They can deploy anywhere on the board greater than 9 inches from enemy models, including objectives in the midfield. So it's an additional +2 to saves when they're in cover. So they have a 3+ save. Like Jesus fucking Christ.
Is
And
there
they have
any
a
way?
hmm?
Sorry, go ahead, Cash. Go ahead.
They also have a +1 to wound when within 1 inch of cover. So you want to stick them in cover. Yes, Dre, what's up?
Is there any way to cheese a game just by deploying commandos?
Deploying commandos alone is cheesy.
So that's basically it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're just so good. Unless maunahan ka ng Space Marine player deploying their version, which are
Hmm.
the incursors. So yun lang nga. The downside is they have to take a double strength unit of 10 plus to get access to war gear options beyond the boss knob weapon, and a lot
Mm.
of the fancy upgrade options are expensive in 40k. So they're better in kill team than in 40k in terms of the upgrades. Pero either way you look at it, you will be getting commandos. Like,
I mean, even if they don't look good for my collection, I will be getting them.
or you can convert commandos. It's orcs.
Nah, I don't wanna.
And
I don't wanna ruin it.
yes, Eric, you did hear a sale. The banner on the bottom
Mhm.
shows the sale. So now we have mega knobs. They are incredibly tanky, and as we said before, you can build either the big mech in mega armor, or you can do the war boss in mega armor. And according to DJ, they're basically orc terminators. The big and the main weapons clip on for easy loadout swapping. Huh. That's very unusual for G dubs. So you don't even have to magnetize. And they're also a great source of extra weapon bits, but they are slow as fuck and need transportation. So you want to put them in a truck with the truck boy specialist mobs, and you let them charge after they disembark, and things will die when they are killed. And yeah, DJ, the commandos are so gorgeous that it feels wrong to not build them with all the upgrades.
So my idea there, DJ, is you buy two sets, one with all the free upgrades and one optimized for gameplay
For the commandos, no. You'll
for the
need
merc
one
knobs.
with all the upgrades for kill teams, then you will need four or five for actual gameplay.
That
Because
oh
opening
yeah,
like a tournament list right now, there are three commando units of five. So that's 15. Yeah.
yep.
So, so you'll need like a few boxes. Yes, I'm a pusher. I push people.
This
And
is
on
this
Wednesdays, we wear pink. And on
this is
Fridays, we wear
we were
pink.
pink. This is basically plastic crack. This is basically
Yeah.
plastic crack.
Yeah, sakto lang yung commandos in the kill team box, but you should definitely get more. Yeah. Like to build like the full competitive staple, you'll need I think another box. All right, so knobs, here we go. So they are not as survivable as the mega knobs, but they are much cheaper. They are bigger, hardier, and fightier than the boys. You can use them with the jump or the truck boys. And according to DJ, they are the solid first pick for truck boys if you want something punchier than regular boys. You already have knobs, Drei, so you stick them in a
Yeah.
truck. And then,
No, I might think I'm thinking of
yeah,
adding more to them.
yeah,
I'm thinking of adding more
definitely
to them
more
because
knobs. Punuin mo
I
yung
only
truck with
have
the
like
knobs.
one or two knobs in the first place from the pack.
No, you have
So I might
five.
no, I only have two.
Nani?
I only have two. I only have two. I
I
don't know.
think you're
I don't.
missing three, fam.
Then I got screwed over with the spruce.
Ooh.
Uh,
So
it's
yeah,
not
you're
going well.
gonna need more knobs.
I'm gonna need more knobs, if only for the collector's mindset.
Not just for the collector's mindset, they good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so tank bustless. So tank bustless, easy way to describe it, they make tanks go bye bye. They're tank busters. You don't want the melee tank busters, but the shooty tank busters are pretty decent because that hammer thing, that's a rocket bomb on a hammer. You hit the tank with it, and you both explode.
He's an expendable unit anyway.
Yeah. So and you also have like suicide squigs. So depending on your list, if you
Aw.
still lack a lot of anti tank, you're gonna want to get these.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of squigs, but they look so these look so adorable. They look
Yes.
so
And they have
adorable
bombs.
because of they have mines and they have bombs and they you know that they're gonna die.
Yes.
So cute. They blow up. They blow up so fast.
Okay, now the Mad Dog Rotsnick is the only orc character that is not in the HQ slot. He's an elite. He's a Death Skull Spain boy, and he's honestly pretty eh. Give him a miss. Now here we go, the Red Gobbo. He's technically out of. stock. He is legends only, meaning you can't take him in tournaments, but holy shit. He wants to seize the means of production, and he wants equality for all grots.
Seize the means of production.
Yes, it's great. It's like join the revolution.
Okay,
Which is ironic
so
because he's being communist, but he's celebrating a capitalist holiday.
capitalist. Yep, yep.
And Ray, we have
I
him in stock.
No, not. It's not a priority. I may or may not get them. I just want to comment this the candy cane shooter right there, the candy cane pistol
Yes, the
right
Candy
there.
Cane Shooter is great.
It's yeah.
Eric, you may message the Dragonforge page for price inquiries. Though I think I put the price on the website. You can check. All right. So the fast attack. This is the only way to describe the fast attack slot. If I could
Yeah.
play like Eurobeat here without getting cancelled because of copyright, I would.
Gas, gas, gas.
So yes, this is the gas slot. This is great. This is gonna be where most of your shit is coming from. First of all, we have the Squig Hog Boys, which is John's favorite. So they are better close combat than bikers, but they have less DACA. They are also Primaris orcs, and they have that one little grot on his own Squig cycle. And yes, if you notice, like not all of the Squigs are on legs. Some of them are on like cycle legs.
Wait, really?
Yes, some
Oh,
of
they
them have like
are. They are.
yes,
Even the one on the grot, the one with the grot rather.
yes. And here's the thing: you buy this box and you get 2 units instead of one because you also get the knob on Smash a Squig.
Oh God.
Yes, he comes
No,
with the
stop.
box comes with a character and it's great. Yes.
Damn.
So
Look
you
at
take
that
them if you
sculpt.
take the boys above. And it according to DJ, sabi nga ni DJ, it's like you get 2 separate units that can run at the same time. It's super value. They get it deals like one mortal wound on a 4+2 charge, 1 CP. You can charge again if you finish a charge with no targets in engagement range. So if he only boops the snoot and the mortal wounds, and then like he's out of range, he can charge again. And then you can take up to 2 of these units without taking up force org slot for every 1 unit of Squig Hog Boys. So you can spam him as long as you're spamming these guys. And it's yeah, Michael is correct. Get
Michael
the
is Michael is just like he's just promoting this and making me poorer and poorer by the minute.
It's okay. Michael practices what he
I
preaches.
that
Yeah, para may 4 squads of Quark. Well, you can't really take 4 squads, but you can take like bigger squads, which may not be a good idea because you want to MSU. So now here we go, War Bikers. Now, Ninth Ed gave these guys a huge glow up. You take lots of these in MSU for the speed wall. They're not as melee murder as the Squig Hogs, but they are very shooty, as well as being pretty capable in melee. And according to DJ, they are one of the biggest winners in ninth edition. They're 25 points per model now. They are -1 to hit when being shot at because they are so fast. So according to Eric, sorry Eric, red is faster, but yellow is more DACA. And
the
yes, we will be having Oro Core clans in next week.
the thing with this with war bikers for me is even though I do want to get them eventually,
Hmm.
they in terms of how the orc aesthetic looks like, it looks more like it was really put together than everything else. Like this one has actual design into it.
You
Like if
want
you look
it
at the sculpt,
less. You
I
want
want
it
less
less.
clean. I want
You
it
want
less
it less
clean.
clean.
Yeah,
If you want, you can chop
more.
them up and like make them more barumbado, or
No, I mean
convert
that's
some out of Space Marines.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like you would want to purposely kit bash some things with that, just so that, or do some battle damage and scarring with it, just so
Yes,
that it
definitely.
looks nice or weirder than what it is right now.
Yeah. So a max unit of 9 can put out over 100 shots in Daka range while you call a speedwa. 100 shots. Over 100 shots. And as a player who fielded like the skeleton horde of Legions of Nagash in last edition of AOS, it doesn't matter if your to hit is shit if you have like over 100 attacks. You will still get wiped. There's also you can also use bad moons, don't do it, and get the 1 CP strat showing off to make sixes explode into another hit, which, because this is orcs, increases their damage output by 50%. Or as you are Drei, you're going to make them freebooters and get the +1 to BS from competitive streak,
That's what's
which
gonna
is
happen.
also another 50% increase in damage output. So yeah, either way is good. Like you do freebooters, man. All right, so we have a lot of like discussion on the comment section regarding colors. So let's just get it clear. Um, Yellow is for more Daka, red goes fasta, blue is lucky, purple is sneaky. That's why you've never seen a purple orc, and
Hmm.
green is best. All right. Now we get to the first of the buggies, the Boom Daka Snazwagon. He's pretty good against guard equivalents, and you get him if you're fighting squishy things. According to DJ, he's a light Swiss Army knife buggy with heavy overlap with war bikers. So it really depends on what you like better. The billowing smoke ability imposes a -1 to hit with it in shooting, to hit it in shooting, like the war bikers, and it's a good objective sitter that can still shoot. And it also has the damage reduction from Ramshackle and does not suffer from morale because it's a vehicle. How are you liking this one, Ray? There's
Yeah,
literally a grot strapped to the front.
that's the thing. This is one of the things that we discussed. I think when I was envisioning my Mad Max. Again, it just looks a bit clean. It if I really want to invoke Mad Max here, I would add more spikes to it.
Ah,
But of
yes,
course,
definitely.
it goes without saying, it's gonna go to the list. It's gonna be
Let's
on
go
the
to
list.
the list. All
It's
right.
if it's not on the list, it should be in the list already.
Now, this
I
is the
just want them.
hot rod version
There we
of
go.
the buggy.
There we go.
This is the hot rod version, yes. Like, because who needs a hood, right?
Yep.
So it's a medium Swiss Army knife buggy with the rivet cannon with the 9.6 Taka autocannon. It has 4 times burner exhausts, which are 8-inch flamers that just like clear everything. You basically
Yeah.
like flame and then spin in place, and like, and it's super dumb. You're basically doing wheelies while burning people, and it does mortal wounds on the charge. And according to DJ, the grot on the front of the previous vehicle used to have a strat that canceled an attack once per game.
So that grot was targetable before.
Apparently. Well, he as a CP. Okay, so Megatrack Scrapjet. This is what wins tournaments right now. It's the heavy Swiss Army knife. It's literally part of a Daka jet that just got converted into a vehicle. They added tracks on it. I think this is what you wanted in terms of like ramshackled put together.
That
This
that
is literally the engine of a jet.
yeah, it is an engine with a drill and bore stuck to it and some spikes
Yeah,
around it.
yeah. Basically, the org vehicles are crush gears
Yeah, yeah.
because
Actually,
they
yeah,
can still do melee.
that is accurate. That is
Yeah,
accurate.
orc vehicles are crush gear. So you see this guy. He was actually the pilot of the plane before it crashed. So he's still wearing his bomber jacket and goggles.
The fact that he's wearing a bomber jacket in the first place is actually very sus already.
Yeah, and look at the modeling on this thing. You even have like the bullet cartridges like flying out of
Yeah,
the gun. Yeah,
it looks so good.
so it does have a good mix of rockets and big shooter shots for vehicle and chaff. So it's good at everything, and it's really fast. The next vehicle is the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy, which is the the ATV, the pickup truck. So it's lots of DACA and it still has like decent melee.
As soon I
And
saw, as soon as I saw this picture, like I heard banjos and hillbilly shouting in the background, in the back of my head, like
paint a Confederate flag
"Yeehaw!
on it and you will not go wrong.
Get a
And it has
gun!"
this little buzz saw on the side, which is very speed
Yeah,
racer.
yeah.
All right, so the squig launchers are heavy mortars. It has a squig bomb, a mine, and it has two-thirds of the launcher shots are fired by a grot gunner, meaning it's BS4 plus. So it's amazing for parking in the backfield to hammer the enemy, and can move up for quick objective camping and melee late game. So according to DJ, it's a weaponized food truck because squigs are food.
Yeah, they
So
are.
it is a weaponized food truck. Now, the Formula One car.
This one I have
So
mixed feelings with.
yeah, the way it works is it and actually if it moves fast enough, it actually teleports. It goes back to the future.
Like I kind of want to see it in red. The yellow doesn't do it
You have
for
to
me.
paint it red. You have to give it Ferrari decals. You have to put like Marlboro on the back, the
Yeah,
rear spoiler.
no, it's gonna be Marlboro,
Yeah, yeah. Marlboro.
possibly.
There are infinite number of puns for orcs. So according to DJ, this is how you get BS3 plus heavy plasma. This is how you get teleporting around the board when advancing. And if you want to be evil sons and teleport, shoot and teleport, you can do that. But it's not no longer as good as it was in the previous edition. And so because it is built by orcs, and since orcs may have superior teleportation technology, but it's still built by orcs, so it only works 50% of the time.
50% of
And
the time, it works all the time.
orcs don't care about numbers.
We can't count.
And to be fair, a 50-50 is better than most things in orcs.
True. So I'm there to hit.
Yeah, 5 plus. And they're much more focused on single targets than other buggies, but they can be brutal yet cunning for anti-tank character deletion. But again, the bomber jacket man seems to be the winner among the glorious buggies. So now we have the Storm
Warm
Boys.
place,
The
yeah.
Storm Boys equivalent of the Assault Marine is basically strap a rocket on their back and hope they don't die.
Yep.
They are great objective grabbers, or you take 10 to 15 of them for melee. It will never be a bad buy. It's just straight up good quality. And if you like their aesthetic at all, get them. They can be a good substitute for commandos for capping objectives, though commandos are still better, but they can do a lot of the jobs of objective grabbing or charging very well. You now have the Def Coptas, which have been missing from the game since the Assault on Black Reach box. Now they finally have models without having to go through an OOP box. They are very fast at 14 inches of movement. They have a bomb you can drop, and they are pretty good value as everything in the fast attack slot is, but probably not the best bang for your buck. But they are not bad. If you like the aesthetic of the Def Coptas, you definitely feel the Def Coptas, which you are getting in your combat patrol.
Hmm. Which I will be getting.
Yes. So now the heavy support. You have three options here. You have the mech guns, you have the dreads, and you have the wagons. The mech guns come in three flavors, but we're only discussing one because all the others are garbage. We're gonna be discussing all the wagons, and we're gonna be discussing the dreads. So it's either gonna be mobile armor or support firepower, and they will be a very expensive slot. Let's start with the Lutas. Okay, so the
Oh yeah.
Lutas are one of two on foot heavy support choices. So with Lutas, you go big or you go home. You either bring 15 or you bring zero. That's it. And honestly, this is what I would recommend you build the Lutas slash Burnas kit as, not as Burnas.
Yep.
And according to DJ, def guns are now 48-inch range, getting 3 shots at 24 with strength 7, AP minus 1, 2 damage. So it's pretty good at murdering Marines. Marines! So this is your anti-Marine. You just sit on a backfield objective and you spam Daka. They are not afraid to move around anymore because of the Daka keyword. They're no longer heavy. They used to be heavy, so they got minus 1 to hit pa when they moved, but now not anymore. And like Burnus, they do go great in trucks as mobile bunkers. Though in trucks, you're gonna do 12. And again, every fifth model must be built as the spanner with a plasma, a rocket, or a big shooter. Probably the rocket for these guys for the range. And the flash gets, here we go, Dre.
My
If you
boys.
wanted to, you can actually like convert the captain character from this guy over here
Yeah,
because he also has a
I did.
captain hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the leader of this squad is actually called the captain. They are the
Captain.
quintessential freebooters. They have a BS4 plus, which is insane for an orc unit. But they're heavy, so if they hit, they get minus 1 to their BS. But the captain can get an additional plus 1 to his BS, giving him a 3 plus, which makes him a space marine. So these guys are the shootiest orcs. They don't get clan bonuses unless you're in a freebooters detachment, which you will be in. They're great for triggering the freebooters competitive streak or benefiting from it for a 3 plus. Kasi diba when you kill something from in freebooters, for the rest of the phase, everyone gets plus 1 to hit. These are probably where you want to start because they have a native 4 plus. So you kill something and everything else gets a 4 plus for the rest of the game for the rest of the phase. They're also gun crazy show offs with a 2 CP strat to make a full second set of shooting attacks against the nearest target. So you've already shot with your shitloads of Daka flash kits, shoot again. And if you've already killed something that phase, it's a 3 plus BS now. And they're still knobs, so they still fight as well as knobs, only with bigger guns.
Yep.
So, like, if your opponent charges them, like, oh, I'm gonna charge this squishy shooty unit, mistake. That was a mistake.
Even though I already have one of these, I'm gonna probably get another one just because I want to um, feel the ones that I have right now, and then for the next set, paint it properly. Like I
Yes.
said, uh, in private to Kesh, I accidentally super used plastic glue when I did this way
Yeah,
back,
I remember.
so I can't really strip the paint properly. So I want to make it as nice as possible.
Also, Dre, turuan kita how to paint checkers.
Yes, because I
I've been
can't do that.
experimenting with checkers. Like, look at this. It's not the best checkers in the world, but it's
Yeah,
serviceable.
it's yeah, it looks nice, but then like all things considered,
Yeah. It's very simple. You only need a pencil.
you overestimate my skills in painting and artistry,
Okay, so for this guy, I have a question from Michael.
Michael. Yep,
Yes.
web only.
And no, flash kits are not web store. I did not put a red arrow for a reason. They are not web only. Once again, they are not web only. Just order it. It's easy. Now, we get to the first of the wagons. Drei is missing. Drei, where are you? Drei. Okay, guys, so Drei blacked out for a second. So we're gonna wait for him for like half a minute and see if he comes back. Otherwise, I'll continue with the battle wagon, which is the best of the wagons. For now, let us address some comments in the comment section. So yeah, it's Snazwagon versus ATV. Um, hmm. Honestly, I think the Snazwagon is used more, but the ATV definitely is not a bad unit. Bomb squig cycles, yes, awesome. Like anything with a bomb squig is awesome. Well, Eric, if there is one goblin that you want to be converted into capitalism, it should probably be the red gobbo since he's already celebrating Christmas. So definitely get him. Okay, so it seems Drei is gone and we're not sure why. Let me message him one sec. Drei, where are you? All right, so while Dre's missing, we'll continue on to the battle wagon. So the battle wagon is probably the best wagon. It can transport 20 boys, 10 mega knobs, or Gaz, Cool, and Makari. Because Gaz and Makari have garbage levels of space taking. I think like if you put the Gaz Cool model on the back of the battle wagon, it'll actually fill it up. And yeah, DJ note that it's a great mobile bunker also for shooty units, not just as a transport for your melee. Um, so I guess you can put like a bunch of lutas in here. Probably not flash kits. Anything with the Daka keyword, I guess, so that they don't get -1 to hit when they're moving. You can take the Def Rolla for a weapon skill 2+ to run over things while delivering your boys. Your custom job options are Fortress on Wheels for a 5+ invul to pretend to be a Thousand Suns. The Shaka Hall, which every time you get targeted by a melee attack, you deal D3 mortal wounds on a 4+ to the attacker, which is pretty pretty solid. And DJ says flash gets can go in there, they just can't use their strat. But I'm thinking you don't want the flash gets to be too mobile, otherwise they get the -1 to hit from their weapon. So the gun wagon, I think you give it a miss. And according to DJ, this is the primary count as for looted tanks nowadays because looted tanks are open play or Forge World. So they're considerably less shooty than they were in the previous edition. They're viable, but they are pretty pricey. So I think you should give them a miss. And they are a +1 to hit with a cannon is not as flexible as the old two attacks, and it doesn't synergize with clan rules very well. So it's more of an armored transport that can delete a few marines better than an actual source of damage. Just because of that, if you do want to transport, you should just go for the battle wagon. And you can still take the fortress on wheels to pretend to be a thousand sun, or you can take the booma for a twin link kill cannon. The bone breaker is the same kit but kitted out for melee. Probably also pass on this. It's just a battle wagon with Arcase and Defrola, honestly. You pay an extra 25 points to get +1d6 attack on the charge. Dre, you're back!
Sorry, I had to be a father first.
Oh, the bebe.
Yeah, yeah, baby was
Anyway,
crying.
I'll do a quick recap of the wagons after I do the bone breaker.
No, no,
So,
no, wait. Don't, no need because I was on my phone. I still saw all of them. I still want all of
excellent.
them.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Chantal.
Okay, Kesh, this does not mean that you're gonna order everything at this point. We are gonna discuss later how we're gonna
Yeah, we're gonna
divvy it
have to
up.
discuss your spacing.
Yes, because like I said, I want almost everything in the catalog at this point.
Holy shit. Okay.
But given how fast I paid in the backlog that I have right now, plus Final Fantasy 14, um, it's gonna take a
Remember,
while.
the goal is to get you to Final Fantasy 14 less.
Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what's
Yeah,
gonna happen?
I'm sorry. Your wife is on my side.
To what extent?
Yeah, to
To
an
an
extent.
extent, because if it breaks the bank, well, poor
Yeah,
Claude
this is
has
why
to.
we're pacing it out nga, 'di ba? Like
Poor
don't
Claude
worry.
doesn't have to.
I'm not gonna make you run out of child support. God's Dre. I'm a responsible human being.
We're gonna touch. We're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
touch.
not Michael over here. Like I'm not
Yeah,
Michael.
we're gonna touch our baby's college fund for my orcs.
It's okay. Baby doesn't need to go to college. Make sure he's smart. Go to UP.
Good point.
Right? 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 Like, si Ray mag-tutor dyan para makapasok yan sa
Thank you,
si
Ninang
Ninang
Ray.
Regina.
Thank you, Ninang Ray.
And Jonathan is
School
going,
is the
school
way.
is the way.
Jonathan. Not only am I a fan of orcs, I have the mindset of an orc. I cannot do math. I cannot. I cannot. I can't speak properly.
All right. So
Anyway, let's get
anyway, the
back to
Bone
this.
Breaker is an identical model to the gun wagon, and as recommended, you can just convert one out of like whatever tank you want, since the footprint is easily copyable. And wala na Dre, the teachers are speaking. The
They are
teachers
on
are
your side.
speaking.
They are on your side in terms of corrupting my child and making him not have a good college fund.
Come on, your child was gonna be corrupted anyway. Kinuha mong ninang si Ray. I mean, like, anyway, so
Anyway, yeah.
you still have the fortress on wheels for the 5 plus save. You have a shaka hull so that every time you get targeted on a melee attack, you still do these 3 mortal wounds. But reiterating for everyone there at home, the best wagon is still the battle wagon for the mere fact that you can put Gazgul in it. You put Gazgul and Makari in this thing, you drive it up, and then things will die. Now
What's
here we
the
go.
what's the deal with these transports that don't really function much as transports?
I mean, they're more of like
Mobile
the gun
fortresses?
wagon is supposed to be a mobile fortress with more guns than transport, but in practice, it's actually less shooting than
Yeah.
transport.
Why not just stick some shooters inside the battle wagon and call it a day?
They did.
Yeah, diba?
They did. That's literally what they did. Dre,
That's true. Yeah.
that's literally what they did. They
No,
put
I
a
mean,
gun on the battle wagon.
yeah, but transport button.
The thing with orcs is, for these ones which are not going fast, you don't just want a DACA platform. You want to get into close combat as well. So you might as well have a truck back. Now here we go, the Hunter rig. It also comes with transport capacity for Primaris Orcs, the Beast Nagas. And honestly, this is not as good as the Kill rig, the alternate sculpt option. But according to DJ, that harpoon on the back is easily magnetizable to be replaced with the Kill rig. Hello, Dre.
I'm breathing heavily right now. If you can't tell, I'm just like
I
keeping
know,
calm.
I
It's like
hear the heavy breathing. So the thing with this thing is, if you do run the hunter rig, you can also use the wereboy on foot. But you don't want to do that. You want to do the kill rig.
but
Gods. First of
mm,
all, it's a Mad Max squig rig with
it
a
is. It
psyker on
is.
top.
It
With a
is.
psyker on top.
But they
Oh,
both
and
look
according
so.
to DJ, you don't even have to magnetize. You can just stick it on.
Oh,
But honestly, I will
I would
magnetize
still
it for you for
advertise just
free.
for stability. Yeah.
And like it has so much shenanigans, so much so that we have multiple slides for this. It's also somehow a character, so it can take warlord traits and relics. Like holy shit. Like even DJ, who usually has like the better reviews, like like the better phrased reviews on the slides, just went holy fuck or to start. So it's honestly it's roughly the equivalent of a repulsor executioner, but it trades the main guns for psychic powers and auto hit psyker pulpit weapon. It transports 10 Snaga models, which is more than the repulsor executioner does. The Evi Lava can use ground shaker shells strat to have a target's movement and -2 to their advanced roll for one turn. So it can make things slower, it can psychic, it can Daka, it can melee, it can transport. There is nothing this thing cannot do. This is the must buy for any orc player. And it's
I'll
going
get
on the
two.
list, isn't it? You get two, yeah?
I'll get two.
I'm sorry, Shanta. John, the answer is yes. The
uh,
answer is yes. So, yeah, we have a third slide just to talk about the kill rig. So, as a character, it can be given war gear, and it's also a vehicle, so it can still be given a custom job. The Psyker casts two, better than some Psykers in the game. It has two spells and one deny, and it can access the Beast Head tree, which according to DJ is pretty awesome. And notable spell choices are Frazzle, 4 plus on a d6 to cause d3 mortal wounds to each unit within 9 of its Imperial Knight sized base. Holy shit. That's a lot of damage. And it's cheap as chips compared to the various wagons, and many times more effective, but can only carry Snaga models. So you should definitely bring this if you're bringing Snagas. But even if not, you bring the battle wagon. You ignore the other wagons, but you bring the battle wagon if you want to transport like um a bunch of shooty things, or if you want Gazgul in there. And according to DJ, after the first, you have to trade one friend for each additional rig.
Cash.
So
I
since you're
paid.
getting two, are you trading in Dan?
I'm checking the price now, and it's like, yeah, I one friend is worth it at this point. Uh, but I probably joking aside, I'd probably get the first one first, so I can see if I do want to go with
A second
Kilrig.
one, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm gonna go with the Kilrig, but in terms of aesthetics as well, I don't know if I would want another one to work on
Mm. Kasi it
because
is a centerpiece model.
it is a centerpiece model, yeah. And even if it's a transport for Stagas, like yeah, I would go for this in a battle wagon than just to have two of the same thing.
Yeah. I would actually suggest getting one of this. Just one for
Just
now.
yeah,
Then you spam buggies. That's actually a good way to do it. So honestly, the kill rig is an instant buy, but it's like 6K. It is
it
expensive,
is. Yeah,
but gods, man, look at it.
it is. It looks like I'm looking at the GW website as well on my other screen, just to see the
Yeah,
details on other angles, and I'm like, oh my god.
yeah. If you guys don't know, if you can go to the Games Workshop website and they have like a 360
Yep, that's what
version
I'm
of all
looking
the
at right now.
models, so you can check out the models we're featuring directly on the website, so you can more easily decide how to give cash your money.
Hmm.
Now, the mech guns, they used to be like auto includes, and they're no longer as good as they were, but they're still very killy. Though ignore every option but the mega cannon. This is the custom mega cannon right now on the screen. If your mech gun does not look like this, do not. And it's screwed by grots, so they do have a native BS4 plus, but because they are grots, they don't get clan cultures. Depending on your list and how hard up you are for anti tank, you can maybe get 0 to 3. I'm sorry, DJ, but the bubble chaka is bad. Okay, so now we get to the cans, the killicans. They're adorable little grot
Uh,
dreads. They are very prone to morale. But they are very customizable. They are very cheap. They're probably not the best use of your heavy support slot,
yep.
but who cares? They're
They're
adorable,
grots.
and yeah, they're
They're grots
grots,
like
and
cats.
they are also one of your options for doing an all grot list, which is doable. Now, the Def Dread is
Mm-hmm.
Webster exclusive, but it does come in the Combat Patrol.
Combat patrol. Yep.
So it's pretty accessible. If you want the Def Dread, you get the Combat Patrol. So now, the Def Dread is the full sized Orky Dread, and even in death, he still was. You can take it in a squadron of up to three, but it doesn't suffer from morale because once it lands on the field, it's like a Space Marine Dreadnought where they go out as individuals. So losing one doesn't mean you can lose another one from morale. They're very good against vehicles, but they can be a bit slow compared to some of your other options. And again, it's probably not the best use of your heavy support slot when the kill rig exists. Um, we have a great question here from Michael, which is better to get first rig or wagon? And DJ comments is if you want to transport wagon, unless you are all in on the snagas, then you want the kill rig because it gives you both. So it honestly depends on your needs. If you find that you're getting killed before you get to melee, you get the battle wagon. If you find that you need more bullshit in your life or you're running beast nagas, you do the kill rig. But you eventually should be getting both, which Dre will be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the dedicated transport. Literally, your only option is the truck.
Yep.
It's just the truck. So the truck, it transports 12 dudes, so it's kind of limited compared to the battle wagon, but it's cheap. It also squishy, but since it's an Orky vehicle, it also benefits from ramshackle, meaning it gets -1 strength from lesser strength. And I heard something, Dre.
Uh, I always wanted to buy one of these, but I always had trouble like picturing myself customizing it further.
Mm.
Like as it is, it looks fine, but if I want to go ham on it, because the design itself, it it's kind of basic for an orc vehicle. If you
Well,
think
it's the
about it,
basic Orc
it is
vehicle.
the
It's
basic
the truck.
yeah. So I kind of want something more for myself, personally speaking.
Mm.
But of course, it's on the list.
You
It's
can
always been
probably get one and use it for your
yeah.
knobs, and then you can for the rest of your transports you can do battle wagons.
This has
Uh
always been on my list. It's just that I don't know why I never bothered getting one.
oh, DJ actually helps you out on that. The truck kit is apparently one of the most basic backbones for custom vehicles.
Yeah,
So you start with this, you lay on like other bits from this. Like Vian has a ton of vehicle bits, Master Jeff has a ton of vehicle bits. I have a ton of vehicle bits, and we're always happy to donate some for Orky
sounds
conversions.
good. Sounds good.
Yeah, and it's the only vehicle capable of letting truck boys disembark after it moves. So this is how you do a turn one charge. With this and either knobs, mega knobs, or a squad of 12 boys. That's how you do it. And if you want to buy any upgrades, it's probably the Fortress on Wheels for the 5 plus invuln. And according to DJ, you can also strip and chop your original to build something custom later on. So like it's orcs, man.
Yeah,
Like the sky's the langit. Right.
I'm just gonna ignore that one.
So flyers are actually not bad compared to some of the other faction flyers in ninth edition. So DJ's note is that it's eligible for the Flyboy Specialist mob, considered to be in light cover when more than 6 inches away from an attacker, which makes them harder to hit. So now you have quite a few options here. You have the Burn Bomber. So it's an anti-chaff. It's weaker bombs than the Blitz Bomber, but it can also buy Scorcher missiles, which ignore cover bonuses. So it's a 1 CP to cause 1 mortal wounds to units within 3 inches of the Scorcher missile target. So it's honestly quite good against chaff. It's a chaff killer. The Blitzer bomber is the anti-tank bomber, and honestly, I'm not convinced as to its value. It does have better bombs than the Burna bomber, It's a 6 inches pie plate, like radius. D3 mortal wounds and a 4 plus. D6 mortal wounds and a 6. But it's slightly more expensive, I believe, and it has some modest shooting, but you mostly only get it for the bombs. Now here we have the good shit. If you're fielding a speedwa, you will bring this. The Daka will be legendary. This is also the basis for the Snaz wagon earlier. And holy shit, this shoots out so much Daka. So it's like 6 times Super Shooters at 36 inches Daka 6-4. So that's 36 shots at 18 inches. And 24 shots at 36 inches. Kesh can math because Kesh is not orc. And
I can't.
you have to take a custom job. You have to take more Daka to roll 1d6 when shooting, and every on a 4 plus you gain 1 shot per Daka weapon. On a 6 plus you get 2 more shots. So you increase your Daka. Then you add that to your speed wa bonus, and things will die. Things will die. Like this is a straight up auto include in a lot of orc lists. The planes are also not web score exclusive, Michael. Like if I did not include an arrow, you can order it. Now, the specialist mob option, which is the flyboys, which makes it more survivable, lets it be treated as in light cover. So if it's more than 6 inches away from the attacker, which is good shit. So it gets a better armor. And according to DJ, the planes are all built from the same kit, and you will have a ton of great conversion bits left over for your truck. You can put like the extra wings on like the side of your truck if you want.
Make it fly.
Yes. Or you can just use it as ablative armor. Then there's the Was Bomb Blast Jet, which is like the orkiest looking of the orc vehicles. It's also the most expensive flyer, but it also has a reliable, for orc standards, BS4 plus anti-tank. If you really have a hard time with vehicles, you get one. DJ says that you can give it killer force field to give it 5 plus plus to self and other orc aircraft within 9 inches. So it's like a mech for planes. And it does have some brutal damage output with 3 mech guns strapped to the plane with a KFF attached. But again, it's gonna be expensive. Now, Lord of War. Mostly overpriced and meh. There's only one thing here worth your time. So let's get to your Lords of War. First off, you have your Stampa, which is a web store exclusive. It's the OG Orc Super Heavy, been around since Epic. And he is sad because he's overcosted for what he does. He's like 675 points, and he doesn't really do that much damage. Now, the Gorkonaut is probably the only one worth your time. You buy this if you want a big thing in your army that looks like a Titan and can also chop things. So this is very choppy. It does have some transport capacity, but don't rely on that. Generally, it's the only super heavy worth your time. The Morkonaut gives out a killer force field with the big base, and that's why people used to bring it. But with the nerf to the killer force field, which used to be a 5 plus invul, now it's a 6 plus, they're no longer as good as they were. So did not age well, and they got shunted the Lord of War from heavy support. Now you technically also have a fortification slot, but it's not on here for two reasons. One, because I forgot to put it in because holy shit, ang daming units ng orcs. And second, they're garbage. So you can get the boss ed bunker if you want because it's a cool orc tower, but you get it for terrain. You don't bring it for your army. So
Yeah,
rule of cool,
I
of
saw that.
course, you play what you want. If you want to play the Red Gobbo leading an army of Grots and probably Mr. Grot rights along with them, and nothing but Grots and Kilakans and mech guns.
Sure, you're gonna have a
I'm
bad
sorry,
time.
DJ, I forgot, and it's also garbage. I know you love it, but I am sorry. Okay, we're gonna talk about it a bit. So the Gargant head drop pod, also known as the boss bunker, is a bad unit. Do not buy it. Well, unless you
Wow.
want it for conversion, you can probably turn it into a Stampa if you want. It's great conversion fodder, it's great terrain, but as a unit, eto na lang, I'll promise to include it in the terrain episode when we do that. So yeah, so you can play whatever you want. If you want to play Grots, if you want to play the Gargant head drop pod, DJ does have some ways of playing it, like load it with flash gets, teleport it onto the field mid battle, and let them shoot with no penalty for moving. So that's one of the ways you can do it. But it's very niche, and I guess you can do it, but it's like not the best use of your cash. So Mikey forgot to put here, but this is basically your buyer's guide to Orc skill team. Nothing, because the commandos box isn't out yet.
Yeah, we have to wait for that to be
Now,
released
when the
first.
commandos box comes out, that is when this gets filled in. Because you don't want regular boys for your Orc skill team. You can also get the Octarius, which is 10% off for the entirety of Orktober. So now, for buying 40k orcs, we have a few builds here for you to help you like plan out your detachments. So one, you can go full Beast Nagas if you got the Beast Naga box, or you just want to get Beast Nagas individually because you like their aesthetic, or you want to steal stuff from Age of Sigmar. You can get Mr. Big White Squig, and you can get more Squigs or War Bosses, like in different detachments, because you can only have one boss per detachment, because like the bosses are very jealous bosses and will not allow you to have many bosses. You will be having your Snaga Boys as your troops. Your main transport will be your rig. So that this is the reason you can spam multiple kill rigs, and then of course you'll be bringing a lot of squig hog riders and their knob. So that's how you do Beast Naga Boys. If you're doing a speedwa, you're gonna go bikes, your choice of buggies, at least one Daka jet, and of course the Def Killer War Trike. This is how you do a speedwa. This is like the basic skeleton of a speedwa. You can include anything else in the fast attack section that tickles your fancy, but this is your main core. There are other combos as we mentioned before. Uh yes, we did cover the beast boss, like Drei wants one.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there are
I use
some synergies like putting Gazcool in a battle wagon along with other battle wagon stuff, or truck boys with knobs, mega knobs, or just regular orc boys inside a truck. So but your first choice is going to be the knobs for the truck. So those are some synergies. Oh, and also if you want to go competitive, you're gonna buy this many commandos. Then you're just gonna spam commandos all over the board, and that is somehow going to work because commandos can melee, not the best, but they can melee, they can shooty, and they're really good at capping objectives. Okay, so Gazcool does have the Supreme Commander keyword, I believe. So you just take him in a separate detachment with probably just some boys, I think. DJ will probably have better input on this. So and DJ is watching, so like he will give us a comment if there are better ways than bringing a separate detachment. Which is more money, money, money? Orcs, Admech, or IG? It's IG. IG has a lot of their tanks in yeah, IG have a lot of tanks in web store exclusive. Um, Orcs less, and you can convert a lot of orcs. AdMech is less expensive because they focus more on infantry, and their infantry are cheaper than orc infantry. So I would say it's orcs equal to AdMech, and most expensive is IG. And according to DJ, Snaga can be part of any clan, so you can just make your beast Snagas Goffs and then bring Gazkul. There we go. And yeah, Eric is saying that AdMech do have a lot of cooler Horus Heresy era models that don't even work in 40K. But remember what we say about Horus Heresy. Dre, close your eyes and like stop your ears because you're gonna hit this bit.
Huwag mong subukan. Masisira ang buhay mo.
So yeah, don't do Horus Heresy, guys. Uh, all right, you may come back, Dre.
I hate that.
So, it's our favorite time of the stream where we feature everyone's painted stuff. So, first of all, we're gonna show you Jonathan's grots.
Nice.
No, it's okay. You can keep mentioning it if you want to see his face over and over again. Though I don't think Dre wants. And yeah, nids are also pretty expensive. So anyway, these are John's orcs. So
Nice.
sorry, they're his grots. They're very grotty with the runt herd. And remember when we talked about the knob with the wall banner, and I said to get the AOS one
Hmm.
because that's the
Looks
AOS
better.
one. Yeah, it's the tongue stick. The tongue stick is the best stick. It's literally a tongue of like a giant lizard or something that they stuck on there. And John, inaaway ka ni Michael, like, needs more wash and highlights now. But yes, DJ, tongue. This is the Rero
I
Rero
don't see.
banner.
I don't see the tongue. I don't see the
It's
tongue.
on the
It's
banner.
no. It's stealthy.
Ah, right. It's invisible because it's
It's
purple.
invisible. It's purple.
Sige. All right. It's John Cena. You
It's
can
John.
probably make a purple commando orc named John Cena.
I think I have the perfect one for that in my kit
It's
right
John
now.
Cena.
I think yeah. I think I have the perfect one for that.
Yeah, now we have DJ Speedwa, and I personally love DJ Speedwa. Though Dre will disagree because DJ paints his Speedwa very clean. Like he has some of the crispest paint jobs I've ever seen in Orcs. Look at these; they are so crisp. They look like they came from a car show. Hmm, juicy, juicy.
They do. I will say that they do look nice. I just prefer
Yeah,
uh mine to be like more battle worn and more
yeah. I
like
totally
nice,
love playing against these guys
dirty.
because they just pop on the table. You see them like facing against you on the table, and they just pop. And DJ wants to get better before giving them some Borderlands style
I
weathering.
I I just
Honestly,
throw in. I just throw
honestly,
in
I
some
don't
null
mind.
oil.
I love this.
Yeah.
Like I love how clean and crisp it is. Like it's so unusual for orcs that it's unique.
And
And this is the whole wa.
I'm just imagining a clan right now that requires the orcs to wash. Like everybody wash.
Dre. Look at the truck in the back. That's a shipping container.
I know. It looks nice. I don't know what was kit bashed with that, but I
Oh,
like it.
that's the actual G-Dub shipping containers.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. And that's a rhino over there. There's a blue rhino over there that turned orky. So this is DJ Speedwa, and I must say it looks absolutely fantastic. Like we were supposed to do a vehicle show off with my Land Raiders and his Speedwa right before the plague hit, but then the plague hit happened. The plague hit, and did not happen. But one day. And Michael says it's okay to use a weathering pen for metal chipping. So for Dre, like keep that in mind.
I just use my scalpel.
Ah, that's true.
I just chip off the paint with the scalpel. And then uh put some metallic paint on it.
Yeah. DJ is not done with the bases now because, yeah, do texture painting that many bases is gonna be expensive. That's why I recommend using the tubs of Army Painter basing instead of using texture paints for these things because they do have like big bases, and that's gonna save you a lot in the long run. Because this is like 350 for a giant tub, and that's a lot of snow. So it's a better bang for your buck than using texture paints for bases this big. Use texture paints for your infantry, not for these things. And that's about it. We have hit calendar Chan. We will be talking about what we will be doing for the rest of the month, which is great because I am starving. Um, so today we're doing our faction focus orcs, and tomorrow Mr. Doctor will be talking about a guide to horror campaigns, and then there's gonna be our pre-orders for the week on Monday. Hopefully, they finally give us um the traitor book for Adeptus Titanicus, and hopefully they give us Legius Estobiax. And on next Saturday, we're gonna have the faction focus Orok Warclans with our friend Jonathan Lansang, who has been commenting here all night. So he plays orcs in both 40k and AOS, but he is going to be joining us for the AOS. Then on the 22nd, we will be having our faction focus demons with Dr. Christopher Go, not to be confused with the asshole running for vice president. And we will be also be having our friend Mr. Tits representing Slanesh. On the 23rd, we will be exploring horror RPGs. And then on the 29th, we have a faction focused Soulblight Grave Lords, which is me, Kesh, showing off Nagash because we have to have like undead in October. We can't not have undead in October. And then on the 30th, we're just gonna have our Halloween Tambay special where we just hang out and chat with you guys in the comments. So that's gonna be anything goes. If you guys like want to interact with us, we're also gonna like give you updates on what we've been doing for hobbies on the month, like stuff like that, just to keep us accountable because we shame you once a month. We let you shame us. It is only right and proper and just.
Hmm.
Yeah. So John is mostly focused on Swampy Boys, as we saw with his invisible tongue stick. So really excited for the rest of the October lineup. And do note that on the 16th, on that Saturday, Dragonforge will be reopening in um, UP Town Center. So please do pop by and buy stuff, spend money. And if you liked anything from the orc units that we posted today, please do send us a message and place an order. Orders usually take 3 to 4 weeks to arrive, and unless somebody blocks up the Suez Canal again, though that will no longer be my responsibility.
Hmm.
And yes, Eric, pop by separately. Don't pop by as a group. Yeah, and I am expecting people to show up to Tambay in costume. Right? So
What
I
is
want to
tambay?
see the Halloween Tambay special. I want pictures of
Ah,
you guys in costume in the comment section for that day. We are also all going to be in costume, so that's gonna be great.
right, right.
Grimkin. I'm not sure if any like we can start doing Warma Hordes content yet, since we don't have like an expert that can do the videos yet. But we'll definitely be doing faction focus for Warma Horde sometime in the future. So, and that's it for tonight. Good night, everyone. And no, no, Louis collects Grimkin. I don't think he's played that many games with them yet. So, we're gonna need like him to restudy how to do it and stuff. And yeah, John, I'd love to take you up on that. Probably at the start of next year, we can start doing Warma Hordes. Para like New Year, new game system, and lol. John plays Grimkin and traumatizing others. Okay,
Kesh, if
and
I may just plug,
yes. So thanks for wying with us, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
let me just plug real
Oh
quick,
yeah,
Kesh,
yeah,
since I
yeah.
forget.
Dre's gonna plug his stream.
So I haven't streamed in a while, but I plan again to do it sometime before this month is over. So please head on over to twitch.tv/ Jorge Makinki, where if you like my shenanigans, my stupidity, you will see much more and more and more of that as I uh, play some games. Hopefully, I'm aiming for the end of October, start of November, that I can do something again. I very much appreciate you guys, especially Dragon Forge and Cash, for inviting me here and for having the opportunity to have my wallet be killed several times over and experience the insanity of that is the orcs of the Warhammer universe. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, guys.
To be completely fair, you did pay for the privilege of that plug by the sheer
I
amount of things that
oh
you're buying.
I will be buying a lot of stuff, so
Yes.
I feel like I have at the very least earned an opportunity to plug myself.
Yes, yes. And as we're plugging anyway, please do like and subscribe to the Dragon Forge YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook
Yes.
if you haven't yet. And if you already have, get at least five other people to do it so that we can get like well, eventually we can get stuff. Michael, for this, I'm actually trying to figure out a setup with multiple cameras that will let us stream how to paint. I just haven't figured it out yet,
I can
but
teach
it's
you.
in the burner.
I can teach you. It's a
Oh,
camera.
there's gonna
You
teach
can
me.
use a you can just use a camera phone for that one. The second camera.
Teach me next week.
Sure.
Okay,
Sige.
sige. So Dre's gonna teach me how to do that while we discuss his
Future
spends,
expenses.
yeah, his future expenses. So if you do need like help planning out your 40K expenses, you can send me a PM. It's literally my job to do so. So no problem.
Mm.
And I guess I'll see you guys next week. Dre, thanks again for joining us. And thanks for spending money. Hope Chantal gets well very soon because
Yeah,
she's honestly spent more on Warhammer than you have.
she will not yet. Eventually, eventually, but not yet.
Okay, okay.
Bye,
So good night,
guys.
everyone. Send PM us your orders if you have any, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Thank you.